We have an interview today with the lovely Scarlet Bell. She is currently a black screen.
Oh, it's my part. Oh, right.
Do the thing, do the thing. There she is.
I forgot. Hi. Hi there.
Welcome in.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on, first of all. Everybody say hi.
Of course.
Now, the way I know you and the way I've seen you on X and everything is, and correct me if I'm wrong at the end, but I'm going to go through what I know. So, you are Scarlet Bell. That I know for a fact. I didn't get that wrong. You used to be trans, female to male. And during this time, you found God and opened your heart to the Bible and studying Christianity as a whole. You decided to detransition, and now you run the that fish Discord and that community who addresses trans issues and
Mhm.
detransitioning and
Uh,
Bible studies.
you got most of those right.
Did I?
The
Okay.
media fish. The media fish
Media
community
fish.
is
Yeah.
yeah, the media fish. The media fish community was originally like a community meant for content creation, like a guild for content creators.
Okay.
And
Creators Guild.
this was before I opened myself to Christ. So now we're like in a weird period where we are changing our focus. And
Oh, so this was actually up before that then.
yes.
Gotcha.
Um when I had begun streaming my personal streaming career, like I was lost. And I was in a different mindset and a different life where I was seeking carnal pleasure. And I wanted to become a content creator with the purpose of, expanding on that. I'm a single mother, and I was recently out of prison, and I got told by a friend of mine who's an OnlyFans model. She does exactly the same thing on VR,
Oh, okay.
and she's like, mm? She does this thing where like she's a cam girl, virtual girl, cam girl, and she makes around, I want to say about $17,000 a month.
Yeah.
She
I'm
makes a lot of money.
I'm actually
She
friends with
spoils me a bit. She spoils me.
I'm
She's a
actually
great
friends
friend.
with a few I think they call them prancers. That's what she calls herself as a prancer.
Yeah,
And
kinda. Well,
yeah.
she does more intimate stuff where she like meets up with like cut her fans
Oh,
and they do stuff, and I'm just like, I don't like that kind of stuff anymore.
gotcha.
But at the time when I had started, I was like, whoa, I see the dollar signs, ka-ching, ka-ching,
Oh
I
yeah,
was like, dang,
absolutely.
I want to get some of that money. And then I started my journey as a content creator, and I figured, you know what, I don't know, that feels kind of wrong. And I got into a huge fight with her. She's like, did you gotta think about yourself and whatnot? At the time, I saw one of those silly commercials for St. Jude's. And I was like, you know what would be pretty cool if like a VTuber like started making money for them. It's like, why would you do that? Blah blah blah. Like it's the whole point is making yourself money, not these people who are like running these scams. And I'm like, it's
Yeah.
not a scam. There's actual kids out there who need help. I started as a content creator, and I started doing it for charity. And I started streaming. I want to say about 2 years ago ish, a little bit more,
Okay.
maybe. And I started doing it since day one for charity for St. Jude's. And I faced a lot of backlash from a lot of people that I knew. It was like, "What are you doing? Like, you're supposed to be on our team. Like like this whole like wholesome stuff. Like, that's not you. Like, what happened to that gooner we love?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be in that anymore. I don't know why. I felt like compelled to like not do that anymore. You know that whole meme where people say like, "I don't want to be horny. I want to be happy."
Yeah. Yeah, it
That's literally like what happened.
memes
That
are
meme
always
is real.
based on reality in a lot of cases. So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it
So
takes a lot of strength to do that as well. I mean, that's a
yeah.
hard hard mindset to get out of, especially when there's dollar signs floating
So
around.
I was pretending to be a man for the longest time ever. I
Uh-huh.
was on testosterone, and I was trying to do it as a male, quote unquote male model.
Mm.
And going into the homosexuality, because even though I was a trans man, I really like men. I still like men.
Yeah.
So nothing, to be gross, Nothing got my rocks off more than, getting a guy to like another guy for some reason. I wanted to corrupt people like that. And it was weird because when a man interacts with a woman, some men get that signal like, no, this is a woman. I feel attraction. Some men feel attraction towards you, even if you're pretending to be a guy. It's like they know subconsciously, this is a woman. This is a mate. And for whatever reason, I enjoyed that. And it was weird. Like, I was like, man, like, why am I pursuing all that? And then I was like in a time where like trying so hard to convince people that I was a guy. I even made enemies and then made alt accounts and made fake doxes of myself.
Oh,
Right?
yeah, you got real into it.
As a guy, like
Yeah.
I got like a picture of a family member who's very upset with me still, by the way. I made like a fake ID and everything, and like I got the like fake videos and stuff of them and stuff, and I like made it look like I was a guy, like 100% a guy, and then I got into some controversy. And I was like, you know what? This is oh no, like oh no, why am I getting doxxed? Oh no. And people are like, we knew, like blah blah blah, this is you. And then like the people like that hate me were like they were accusing me of some really heinous stuff. They were accusing me of being like a groomer and stuff, which is understandable because the trans community, like, there's a lot of like stuff about that.
Yeah,
But like at the same time, it's
the
like I've never
circles
had any
almost
interest
touch.
in
Yeah, for
children.
sure.
Like I'm a parent. I'm just like, dude,
Yeah,
I'm like a kid. Like, what? I have a kid. Like, why would I want that? Like,
yeah.
that's gross, bro. Like, so people were like just very angry at the fact that when I revealed, like, look, I'm actually a woman. I'm sorry I lied to you. I lied to like a lot of people. People were like up in arms. So like, how dare you? How could you do this to us? We loved you for who you are. And there's like a huge backlash for like a long time. Like coming to Christ and like letting go of that fake curtain I arranged around myself was a moment of like revelation, my own tribulation. My health started declining really hard because of the testosterone too. That's like another reason why I had to stop taking the testosterone.
How long were you taking it for?
I was taking it for 3 years.
3 years. Okay, yeah, that's quite a bit of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. So it affected my voice. I had a very, very, very feminine voice. Now I have a deeper voice. I have a little bit of facial hair. Not much, though, thank God, but not that much. And I have hair in places, like, and people are like, oh, I developed CNS, a central nervous pain syndrome, and it's excruciating. My nerves are damaged in my spine and my back of my head. So like I'm in constant excruciating pain, and people are like saying like, huh, like I developed cancer twice. I had to fight cancer. And people are always saying like, what? Like how come like all this stuff that happened to you, like, like doesn't happen normally. It's like people don't realize that when you sign the paperwork to become transgender, you are voiding your rights. If anything goes wrong, these are very dangerous chemical procedures that are being put in your body. The doctors are not responsible and they tell you you're accepting this as is. And if anything happens, we're not liable. And people don't realize that. They paint it with like this picture
Hmm.
of just pure pink and beauty. And nobody tells you, like, hey, this is dangerous. You're damaging your body. I went blind on my left eye. That's how bad the damage was. A lot of people don't make it out. You know?
Yeah, I'm really surprised you did after hearing that. That's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
could
barely
you
made it
could
out.
you yeah could you imagine like that decision, to get out of it if you made that maybe even 3 months later? What could have happened? So I mean, yeah, you got very lucky you did it when you did. I think absolutely. 'Cause I might not even be talking to you right now. Depending on what
Yeah.
what damage could have gone further. So, but I'm glad you did. Um, so you mentioned it was kind of like just a switch one day. You decided,
Like a flick of a light, bro.
I mean, so
It was
nothing
weird.
nothing ever showed up to you. You didn't have like a vision, a dream, nothing just kind of like popped out at you. It just happened, or was there a process to
Uh
that?
to be fair with dude, my system, my body system is like screaming at me. Hold on, my body tried to.
Okay,
We're
you're good.
having technical issues. Use chat. Yeah, no, I use like the chat. I use like a 3D system, and like it's
Well,
not perfect. Okay, I'm a developer. All right, we have bugs, we have flaws, we have flaws in our system.
I
Okay,
think the
so
bugs make it endearing, though. That's my favorite part of it. So
the bugs make it there. All right, the super jank stream, bro. All right, so
it's the best kind.
I've known about Christ my whole life, right? Like
Yeah.
I was in a Catholic family for a little bit,
Okay.
Catholic Orthodox. My family, my Japanese roots, go into the Catholic Orthodox, and my Hispanic roots go into like the Catholic. And I've always had like an influence of God in my life, but I was always so fearful because I've had like only negative experiences with Christianity in my life, and I can understand why people are so afraid of being Christian and why a lot of people are afraid of God because there's a lot of bad people that are Christian and they will use Christianity to hide what they do as a as a masquerade, and it's
I feel
sad.
like that goes both ways with the trans community and with the like any religious community. You know,
Basically, you're
because
absolutely
yeah,
right.
because they're polar opposites, but they're also exactly the same in how they tend to talk about the other side. You know, so like in the trans community, they're
Yeah,
very, you know, if they even get an inkling of any religion, they're very, you know, alert on it. So as with, you know,
yeah.
most Christian communities, any uh, some of them, not all of them. There's actually a Christian community on X that is just a bunch of gay dudes, but they're pretty based, but they're super into it.
Oh, the
And
the gays for Christ
yeah,
community.
yeah, and
Yeah, I was a member of them for a little while. They're super cool.
yeah, they are.
I
Yeah,
was
I'm friends with
yeah,
quite a
like I
few of them. They're
said,
awesome.
like
So, but I feel like that's like the
like
final evolution, you know, of it.
technically when I was trans, I was actually straight with extra steps, which is funny. Everybody makes fun of me because of
Yeah,
that. They're like, "Oh, you could have done this. You're fine. You're a tomboy." But the whole thing that happened with me is because I was a tomboy. I've always been a tomboy.
yeah.
And some people, when I was in prison, the stuff that happened,
Hmm.
I'm a widow. Some stuff happened with my husband. I ended up incarcerated for several years. And
Yeah, go ahead and
a
go over that
trans.
again. I know we talked about it before, but go ahead and go over that
Hmm?
story just so everybody has kind of a baseline to
I
where
had a
you were.
I had after my military career, I met this man, and me and him hit it off. He was not the most savory of men, but I liked my whole bad boy. I was in my bad boy phase. And I loved him. I loved him a lot. Our love just kind of grew stale and we ended up getting addicted to drugs together. And I was on my drugs and he was on his drugs, and one day we had two kids, and one day he was really he was off his rocker and I was too, and he tried killing one of my kids. He tried, you know, taking my kid's life, my son's life,
Mhm.
and I acted accordingly as big mama bear instincts, and I took his life. And I was very abused. The court case was in and out, and I was in prison for a little while. They never gave me the court case closed, and I never got like a former felony, but there was like a whole legal stuff, and I don't want to talk about it, go into detail too much about it,
Oh, I understand.
because you
Yeah,
know like I want
especially
to
court
remain
stuff. Yeah.
some anonymity.
Oh, I understand.
There's
Yeah,
a lot of
especially with
people out
court
there like,
stuff.
nah, like we know who you are.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely had my share of like court case stuff as
Yeah,
well, with my daughter
right.
and my ex. So yeah, no, I totally understand. And I run two businesses as well, so I had a bunch of like legal stuff involved with that with certain customers as well. So I definitely know about getting doxxed with the legal system because they do reveal
Oh my
a lot
lord.
more information than you'd like. So
That happened recently. That was scary.
yeah,
Like I actually got my docs out, and I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Yeah, a person in prison approached me, and they were like, hey, like, we know that you're a tomboy, but don't you think you'd be happier if you were a man? And they kept doing that, insisting
right.
little by little, and I believed it. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have anything. My son called me a monster. He said, "Why'd you kill dad? You're a monster." He was like 5. You know what? He was a
Yeah.
baby. He didn't know any better. My daughter was like a baby too. And my daughter basically grew up without seeing me. Now she's getting to know me, and it was horrible. And I basically like, was like, like I want to try it. I want to try it. And they have gender affirming care.
Yep.
So I was able to get myself on testosterone and stuff like that thanks to a very crooked therapist that was in there.
Mm.
And they were like, "Oh, we're so happy you're taking these steps to make society better, blah, blah, blah," and like a whole bunch of jargon. And I was like, "What? I don't understand. I just want to try something new. I didn't care. I was like lost." And I did it. And well, I was in there. I was undergoing all these changes. I cut my hair short. I had a little bit of facial hair. I bulked up a little bit. Testosterone makes you grow a lot of muscle
Right.
mass.
Yeah, a lot of mass.
And I'm still short. I've always been short. But like people are like, "Oh, look at that little man over there." I'd be like, I'd be like, "You want to
It got
mess with
it got
me,
the dwarf
MF?
build.
Come on,
Yeah.
bring it over, brother. Bring it over, brother." Like they're like,
That's
so
canonical. That's
yeah, I'm just
canonical
I'm
to
just
short men as well. So they are very aggressive usually.
yeah, that makes you hyper aggressive too. So
Yeah.
like I got into a lot of fights. I've always been a fighter, but it's just it's I still am aggressive. I've always been aggressive, right? So so my son visited and he saw me and he looked at me. He didn't recognize me as his mother. He looked at me and uh he said, not only did you kill dad, but you're also trying to replace him. And my whole world shattered. My whole world shattered. I was on a death spiral. I was so depressed. Shortly after I was like I stopped caring. It was such a painful, like having your own kid tell you that they don't love you, that tell you that you're a monster, you changed who you are. I don't recognize my mother anymore. And I think he was like 7.
Yeah,
The first time he saw me like that,
that's a
he's
deep
like from
thing.
5 to 7, there's a big gap.
That's a
He's
deep
like
thing to
super
say at
excited. He's like,
7.
"Mommy, mommy." He came to the lobby. He's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, where are you, mommy?" And I approached. I was like, "Hey, son, how are you?"
Yeah.
That's the man voice. I don't like using it anymore. And then he looked at me and he was the first shocking reaction he had. He was just scared. He's like, "Who are you?" It's like, "It's me. I want you to call me daddy now." And I felt like his pain. Like I don't understand why people do this to themselves anymore, Like
Yeah.
they're chasing that. They want to be who they want to be, right? But they're doing it in an unhealthy way.
I think every single person in that trap right now is
It is a trap. That's no better way to
well,
describe it. You're
in
absolutely right.
the reason it's a trap is because nobody in my opinion, I don't know you believe, nobody's born trans. It doesn't happen naturally.
Nobody's born
Every
trans.
single time somebody has become trans, somebody else has forced them or
Or put that
persuaded
idea in
them
them.
or put that
Yeah.
idea in them or brainwashed them into it.
Yeah.
And
I was
then
brainwashed.
yeah, yeah, in
I
prison,
was
yeah,
always a
absolutely,
tomboy. There are masculine men,
yeah,
masculine women, masculine men, feminine men. And there's nothing wrong with a man that is feminine. Heck, feminine men cook so good. I'm not gonna lie. Shit, feed me, bro. For real. Make food, bro. Men cook better than women do sometimes, Like I'm
yeah.
just like, bro, if I could get myself a man
They were definitely
that
better
will
at
do
cooking the
all the
meats and
chores in
stuff.
the
So
house. Listen, treat me like a queen, do all the chores in the house. Be a demon in bed, and be feminine, and I can talk to him about feminine stuff, I'm set. There's
yeah,
nothing wrong with that. I'm a very masculine woman. Like, why are people not talking about this?
yeah. They well, and I feel
It's
like the damage it's done with the LGB community. Is just
yeah,
it's and just hearing the amount of hatred that my like gay
and
friends
they
and
say that
lesbian
we are the
friends have.
hateful ones.
It's well, no, I mean they have a hatred for the trans for what they've done to the community because they basically walked back LGB progress for the last like 20 years completely. Like everything everybody wanted, and we everybody was happy and everything, and then trans pretty much destroyed all of that like goodwill, in my opinion, because gay, bi, and straight, it's that's your preference in a mate. If you're a guy and like a guy, you're a girl like a girl, you're a guy and like a girl. But trans is completely selfish. So a trans person is basically what they see themselves at. And when you go from what your preference is to what your preference is in yourself, all that is, it just becomes a fetish. And just the whole thing's
It
just a
is.
fetish at that point.
It is, and it makes me upset that these people are forcing others to adjust their language so they can befit their mental
Yeah.
illness and their
Well, and
views. Like, what
it's not
about
even the
us?
same
Isn't that
thing.
selfish?
Yeah, it's not even the
That's
same thing
selfish as
as
heck.
because gay's a preference, straight's a preference, bi's a preference, and then you get trans and it's a fetish and it completely doesn't belong in it at all. And the fact that they practically bullied the gay community to let it become a thing and be accepted, I think was the worst thing that ever happened to that. And that's what caused
I agree.
probably every single problem is the fact that they basically strong armed their way into that community to promote this fetish.
You're absolutely right. And the majority of the cases of the people that you will see the transgender community being super aggressive are people who are like very mentally unstable
Yeah,
and they get very emotional. The hormones, well, you're putting female hormones in a man. They make men extremely emotional.
yeah.
And that's why you see the outbursts that you see. A lot of people don't realize that. Like when you're messing with hormones, you're messing with identity. And you're changing things around, something that you're not born as.
I
It
don't even
has
see
some
that.
very hard implications on your psychology.
I don't see that as like the patient zero though. I just see that as like a catalyst. I think the patient zero
It's a
is a
catalyst for
is
sure.
I think a lot of these people are just naturally just unstable or in a bad place, and I think
I
that's
agree.
where because you can attribute pretty much all of that to 99.9% of trans people. The 0.1% that aren't the ones you hear from. They're not the ones that are causing all these problems or doing all this weird stuff or taking the war to, like the keyboard on Reddit or Twitter. And
Bro,
they just want to
Reddit's
be
the
left
worst
alone,
place.
So
They
I think
have
yeah, it is.
they so I have a team of people in
uh
my team that we are all like, as you can tell, like we're all very like well versed in competing and like technology.
yeah,
And we have figured out that the majority of the people who like will downvote on Reddit, like stuff that is anti-trans. Like check this out. It's like a small group of militant style people who make alt account and they will like because it's a small number of people that are the loudest. That's where this
yeah.
whole argument comes from. That's why we don't go to Reddit anymore. And it doesn't work on Twitter anymore. And that's what makes them so upset. Because now on Twitter, the truth comes out.
I think people are just exhausted
They're,
with it too in a
they're
lot of
exhausted. A
cases.
lot of people are exhausted.
Yeah,
The silent majority of people are tired of having to cater to these people.
yeah,
And then the moment that they approach our kids and started planting their ideas on our kids, that's where people were like just very upset.
yeah.
And that was the moment that I was like, man, like I never wanted to talk about it, but it makes me upset that it took me, someone who's a whole victim in this whole thing, to be outspoken to start this movement. And I'm like, I didn't want to be a leader. I'm not leader material. I just basically spoke my mind. Everybody was like, "Wow, let's go!" And I'm like, "Okay." So people were just waiting for that to happen. This is why I encourage more people to do it every day, daily. Like more people are doing it now, and that's great.
The best leaders rarely choose themselves. So never
Ah,
forget that as well.
I hate that. I don't want to be a leader. I'm the worst.
Well, there's also a difference between a boss and a leader too. That's important as
Okay.
well. So because a boss tells you what to do and a leader shows you what to do. There's a big difference there. So I
Ugh.
don't feel bad about being that for a community. Never feel bad that you're helping, even if it's something like a role like that where it puts a responsibility on you of a sort. Because in a lot of cases, having an opinion or an ideology, instantly grants you that responsibility.
Yeah, that's true. I was kind of inspired ever since Charlie Kirk passed away.
Mm,
And I did like a lot of like reading on Charlie Kirk and the stuff that he did. At first, I thought he was a monster like everybody else painted him to be.
yeah.
But here's another question. Have you actually heard his debates?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So a
I
lot of
used to
people
catch him a lot.
haven't. They're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, like they're
Yeah.
painting him with all of this like stuff, and they never have sat down and actually listened to the guy. And he died for our ideas. He died for what's normal,
Yeah.
what's expected of society, which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, even crazier is the fact that that's not the first case of um, people doing that with everything. I mean, they do that with literally everybody or every idea. Is they pick up the whatever their friends or their co-conspirators really believe, and they just mimic that and they sponge it, and they never actually for once say, well, let me go check out for myself. Like there's no amount of critical thinking or unique personality or detective work anymore for people to find stuff out. They just want to believe the thing so they can feel accepted, and it's that's what causes people to just get into their own little vacuum chamber, of which there are
That's
millions,
unfortunate.
and then
Yeah,
they just stay there. And trying to convince somebody they're wrong is 5 billion times harder than convincing somebody of a lie. And that's where people sit at. They don't want to be stupid, they don't want to be wrong, and so they will latch onto any idea they believe, whether it's proven wrong or right. And that's why we have no progress in this, or it doesn't seem like we do.
it's sad.
It is.
It's really sad.
It is.
Yeah. So I can't wait for the backlash after you had me on your show.
Oh, fuck them, who
It's gonna
cares.
happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, bro.
What are they going to do? Send me death threats? Wouldn't be the first time. So,
Dude, I have over 2,000 death threats on my email
do you?
inbox
Wow.
right now. That on my Twitter
We
inbox.
should get you like a
People are
punch
like,
card or
ah,
something, huh?
yeah. So much for the tolerant community, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Well, yeah.
crazy.
The least tolerant
Yeah,
community. Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah.
So let's go through a little bit of that too, on Twitter, because just I did like a little research on what I could, because it's kind of all over the place with you, which is hilarious. I had to do like a lot of
I post
digging.
what I want.
I
I'm
know,
really
and
be
I
real,
love that.
man.
I do too. So if you have, I haven't been like mass report or anything yet, so I just keep doing it. But
They have reported me so many times, and I'm just like, okay.
yeah,
Like, what do you want me to
I'm
do?
gonna
It's like,
report
okay,
you.
bro.
How does that make you feel?
How does that make you feel? I was like, bro.
It's like not a whole lot of anything, but there are some things that I did see, and I told myself I wouldn't look into them because I wanted to hear them from you. So, but the first
Oh
one I
no.
wanted to ask you about is you burning the trans flag on stream, because that one came up and
Oh
I
my
thought that was
lord.
great. So I wanted to talk about that.
Well, me burning the trans flag was not only like a symbolical thing because the trans flag is a symbol of oppression.
Yeah.
A lot of people who want to get out of the trans bandwagon. I was one of them, and I didn't know how. I had tons. Okay, let me be real with you. I had tons and tons of friends in the transgender community, and these people were like family to me. Like, well, I was in VR chat for like a little while. I was starting my content creation journey and all that stuff, and I was still trans. I made so many friends, and I revealed to them like, "Hey, you know that I'm actually trans, right?" They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, we love you," blah 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 blah. It's like, dude, they were so loving. They were great friends and people you could actually come to talk to like normal people, loving, caring. But they had a deathly fear of God. And it all started spiraling down the moment that I decided, you know what, I kind of want to go search God. And the moment that I started saying, I want to start searching for God, a lot of them had like very questionable looks and questionable
Oh, I bet.
questions. They were like, "Yo,
Yeah.
why? Like why would you want like God hates us?" I'm like, "God doesn't hate us. God loves us. Jesus died on the cross for us.
Yeah.
You just don't realize that. Why are you being Christphobic? Guys, what? Why are you being Christphobic?"
Yeah.
So, and
Use
then
their
this
logic
when I
against them
said
and they
that
hate it.
the first time, I made a slogan about that on VR chat. I made a whole movement in VR chat about it. Christphobia is a real thing. And I started saying to people, why are you being Christphobic? It's like, well, no, I'm not being transphobic. No, I didn't say transphobic. I said Christphobic. It's like, what does it matter? Everybody hates Christianity. Well, everybody hates trans people too. What's the difference?
Yeah. No difference.
So people are like, whoa, 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 how dare you use our own words? And but scripture says, give unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar.
Yeah.
So people are just like, how could you? Like, they were so indignated by that. That's the first part. I started burning the flag in posts. When I started doing it, I was angry. And I was like, I hate this. I renounce it. I renounce it. I rebuke it. I don't want this anymore in my life. I don't want this pain anymore in my arm, bro. Trying to fix it. There it is. All right, there we
Oh,
go. So I was like, man, like I'm so tired of this like stuff that is going wrong in my life. Like, why can't we just be normal? My head, bro. Now to my head. Look,
you're trying to enter
I gotta
orbit
reset.
of the black hole behind you. That's what's going on. So it just keeps pulling you over.
Well, that's the neural network.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good. It definitely has some
That's the
gravity,
neural
so
network. Yeah.
keeps trying to drag you
Like
along.
no, no. That's like V2 real or stuff.
Oh,
That's a
gotcha.
neural network. Yeah. It has to do with Christianity and stuff like that, and then
Oh,
aliens. Anyways, the aliens. Wait, hold on. Let me do my bit. The the aliens are real, guys. I'm telling you, bro. The aliens, bro. They're real. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, bro. Like I will tell you without a single shred of a doubt, sir. We have seen the alien cat girls around, all right? But
I hope so. That's what I was hoping for. Remember that fake post that came out that they had like
that's my
alien
VTuber
cackers?
lore.
Yeah. I saw that. I was like, no fucking way.
You
And I
want to
thought
see it?
I got so hoodwinked by that because I thought it was real. And so I saw that and I'm
It's
like, oh,
real.
because well, no, it wasn't,
It's
unfortunately.
real. There's a document.
Yeah, I know the document was doctored. Unfortunately, I looked into it. Trust me. So I
What?
know.
No, you
I
telling me
know, I know. I'm sorry. No, but here's the
no.
thing. So me and my gaming group of my buddies, I've been talking about cat
I
girls
gotta
for
send you the video.
probably. Yeah, you should. I've been talking about cat girls and alien cat girls for like 15 fucking years before Elon Musk even like was doing anything. And they have rode me about it and made fun of me for. And I saw that shit. And I was like, no fucking way. And I shared it. And my buddy, who is currently active duty, he uh, I won't reveal much past that, but basically he revealed that it is not in fact real. So he
Oh
ruined
no,
it for
man,
me.
it could be
Yeah,
real.
he didn't let
I
me have
wanna
my dreams.
believe.
You know,
I
yeah, I want to
wanna
believe too.
believe.
Yeah, I need that. I want to believe too.
Aliens,
It needs
bro.
to. Yeah,
I
it
wanna
needs to be real.
believe. So, I find it entertaining that so many people are always so angry at the fact that I burned the flag more than the message.
Yeah,
And I got attacked from so many angles. People in VR chat, my friends circle in VR chat found out about me burning their sacred idol. Because let's call it what it is. It's a sacred idol.
yeah,
It's not even like a just a symbolism. It's a sacred idol they all worship. They
yeah.
all
I mean,
worship it
idols
as
are a
God.
sin, and and
Yeah.
that's where a lot of the
Idols are a
hate
sin.
comes from. It. I think too. I hate to cut you off because I want you to continue, but I
Mhm.
do want to say that when you're talking about how you met them and they were very nice and oh you mentioned you're trans and they accept you immediately, if you change
Mhm.
the word trans to literally just any name of a cult and
It's a
then
sin.
just say what you were going to say again, that's literally, yeah, it's literally cult behavior. Is like, oh, you're part of
Exactly.
X or Y cult, so am I, we love you, you're family, and I feel like that's a very
But the
important thing to
moment that
remember.
they find something wrong with you, they want to
Yeah,
kill you.
absolutely. It's just like a cult,
Yeah.
so
Just like a cult.
yep.
And a lot of people like don't call the trans movement cult. They're a
It
freaking
is.
cult, bro.
It is. They keep doing
They
cult stuff, so
they
they're a
want to
cult.
kill me,
Yeah.
bro. That's happened.
Yeah.
I tell you what. Actually, as a matter of fact, I had posted. I got assaulted in a parking lot in front of a grocery store over somebody who recognized my voice from Twitter.
No way.
Yes, I was assaulted. There's a police report and everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was assaulted. I still have bruises on me. My kids, I told my kids to run. I usually run armed. I have to be armed. I'm strapped
Yeah.
half the time.
I got a,
I've
I got
had
a, I
so
got a
many
gun
death
truck,
threats.
or a truck or a
Yeah.
gun in the truck. Yeah, at all times. So.
There's a whole bunch of like a bunch of like weirdos. There's just one guy called Masato Matrix.
uh-huh.
Like he's been doxing like all of my friends at Celestium. He's been
Oh yeah,
doxing
I've seen news on him. Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
this guy, he's a piece of work. He's mentally ill. He's like the ringleader.
Yeah.
There's like police charges against this guy.
Oh wow.
Like there's a whole investigation. Like I'm pretty sure the FBI is involved in everything. This guy's like a serial stalker. He hates women Christian VTs, which is wild.
Yeah,
I
everybody
just
hates
wanted to bring
something,
that
right?
up. Yeah, everybody hates something.
Now, how has this affected the community? You know, the Discord community, going through all these changes. And I'm assuming you had to kind of clean
Oh
house a
man.
bit.
So a lot of people like the moment they found out that that I'm a biological woman, they're just like there's a lot of like really weird received like reception. A lot of people are like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. People were like, I knew it. I feel so vindicated. Blah 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 blah.
I'm
There's a lot of
vindicated
people
and
are
right
going
and the
insane.
smartest person
Th- I
ever.
have some I have some diehard fans from like a while ago, like the very first fans that have always like watched me and they said, that's a woman. And people are like, they don't believe it. It's like, yeah, no, no, that's a woman, bro. It's like, no, how could I sound like a woman when I can talk like this, bro? And people will be like, what? They're like, they just sound like a guy pretending. You just sound like a girl pretending to be a guy.
Oh, so for
Like, you know
everybody
what?
watching, there's a trick I use for this. So because
Okay,
I used to be very, not so much anymore, but I used to go to bars and play pool and I'd flirt. I'm single. I can flirt with people. And but there's a really easy way to usually tell if somebody's pretending to be a girl. Yeah, pretending to be a girl. And if they say, if it's a guy pretending to be a girl, they will say I think instead of I feel. And if it's a girl pretending to be a guy, they will say I feel and not I think. So, and that's the biggest way I do it. So that's a 100%
really?
success rate. Yep. Every time. It has never failed. So every time you're like, I think this needs to do this, or if they say I feel this needs to do that, yeah, that's the number one way I tell usually. And it's never failed.
Okay,
So
but
yeah.
does it work on tomboys though?
It
Because
does
we
work on,
operate
yeah,
differently.
it works on tomboys because you still use I
Oh, really?
feel, because the female brain resorts to
I feel
empathy and
feelings.
feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it's I feel exposed. Dang it! No, it's not true, Chad. It's not true.
Okay. I've been around the block a few times. I know I know the girls from the guys usually.
Oh no, I feel so exposed. Ah. But I generally speaking though, I try to carry myself as professional as I can, even though I'm not professional at all, man. Like
Well, there's an undertone of professionalism that a lot of people just don't get, and that actually pisses me off a lot when they don't. And
okay,
you can appear unprofessional or seem like whimsy and this and that, but there's always a professionalism built in where you know how to read the room and you know how to say what needs to be said or say something in a certain way or not say something. And that's the underlying professionalism that I know you have, because I can tell just from the way carry yourself and talk. And unfortunately a lot of people don't have that, and it's very frustrating,
it's very
especially
frustrating.
dealing with like interviews and stuff, because sometimes they, luckily everybody I've interviewed so far gets it,
How old did you
and
say
they
you
don't do
were?
that. How old am I? I'm 30.
No, that's just joke. It's a joke. It's a
I'm
joke. It's a joke. All
it's
right.
okay. I'm 35. So how old are you?
Oh man. Well, I'm 40.
Oh, okay.
I've been around. I've been around 4 decades, man. That's a long time to be
Yeah.
alive. Yo, you remember Pokemon?
Do I remember Pokemon? Yeah.
1991, bro.
Yeah. I was born in
Yeah.
92, so
Okay. But Pokemon was fire.
yeah. Yeah, I was into
All
Pokemon when
right.
I was young. Yeah, I think the first iteration I had was when I got a Game Boy Color, and I got it like late. I didn't get it when it came out, because my family was quite poor. And the first game I ever had on there was Pokemon Yellow, and then
I loved yellow.
yeah,
So fun.
and then I got an advance for Christmas, and then Pokemon Silver, I think was, yeah. And
You
so I've
you
been on
want
and
to
off
know
playing with it.
the nerd stuff about Pokemon game?
Yeah, go for it.
So, Pokemon Yellow was the first game developed by Japanese company Game Freak, right?
Yep.
And so this game featured the option to be able to look at Pikachu, and Pikachu's mood had an algorithm that determined how it would look at you, and you could see its mood
Yep.
depending on previous actions and stuff like that. Did you know that that was the first game ever made like that, that set the foundation for every game following that had to do with characters' emotions?
Yeah. Yeah. It was a big deal
Isn't
at the
that
time.
cool?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a really big
And
deal at the
then you have
time.
like all these dating sims and stuff,
Oh
and people
yeah.
don't realize that it's
Yeah.
Pikachu, bro, this whole time.
Yep.
Like people are like, what? Bro, I love video games. Video games have been like a major part of my life, and they've always been my escape. Um, I grew up in a really troubled. I had a really troubled childhood. I was very heavily sexually abused. But oh, dark topic now. Sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. So I was very heavily sexually abused by my biological dad, my biological Japanese dad.
uh,
Um, my mother, me and my mother are very alike, very alike looking, and so when I was born, my mother, she had a lot of heavy complications, and she unfortunately passed away. And I had another person growing up that was kind of like a mother figure to me. She was a great person. I love you, by the way. I know she's watching right now. She's probably gonna be watching. I send her all my videos. So, so my dad raised me with a lot of like anger. He said that like I think that's like the seeds of like why I hated being a woman, because he looked at me with all this anger and he tried to raise me like a boy. And then he's like, I wanted a son. Like, why did you take my wife away? Like, why did you take my love away?
well, yeah,
Why did you do
it
this?
seems very common too that a lot of the predispositions to trans, or like the prequel to trans, is usually abuse as a child or at a young age. I see a lot of
Yeah.
commonality in that. But do continue. I'm sorry.
So yeah, a lot of that pain carried over, and my father was he was a ex yakuza. He had seen a lot of stuff. He was heavily addicted to drugs,
Okay.
and whenever he would get really high or like really like, like he was out of his mind, he would see me as my mother.
Ah,
And when I was 9 years old, he used the first time that he did that to me, and he regretted it. But then his attitude completely changed. He started treating me like as if I was his woman. I don't know. It's probably some cultural Japanese thing that that he said I would take responsibility, and he continued doing it, but he was loving doing so. So that kind of messed with me a little bit, I guess, mentally growing up. Eventually, he succumbed to the drugs. He succumbed to dementia. He passed away, and it was a. I loved him, but hated him at the same time. He tried going after some of my siblings too, but I had to like offer myself so he wouldn't do that. Like I figured, like might as well just let it happen instead of my siblings. You know, painful, very painful.
yeah, that's a
Um,
terrible thing to go through.
yeah. I ended up working at a brothel when I was 12. It was my first time working doing sex work. And well, it was a third world country. And like people need to make money. People have to make do with
Hmm.
what they do.
Yeah.
And my life revolved around a lot of sex. That's what I that's why I'm very like, like I joke about it, but like at the end of the day, like it's something so sacred. Like don't get me wrong, I love sex, but you gotta you gotta find that one person to do it with, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta be like one partner under God, right? Did it right. Okay,
It's
so
well, and a lot of Christians, or like very devout, or very, um marriage specific people, never say the one thing that would probably like be the biggest bonus for that. Is they always say, oh, it's sacred and this and that. Well, you have all these people that are like, oh, okay, yeah, well, or I could just have sex with like a ton of people and fuck like hundreds of
it's
bitches. But what they never say, which is very true, and I hate that they don't bring this up, it's that the sex is a million times better when it's with
with
someone
one
you
person.
actually love and care about
Yeah,
in one person,
it
because
is.
the more you have sex with one person, the better you guys get at it. It just, and a lot of them don't even understand what they're missing out on by, the one night stands
Yeah.
and, the anonymity and all that.
Yeah, I used to do that. I lived it from a child to like my
Yeah.
adulthood, and in
I,
my
yeah,
military tour,
I
like
had quite a promiscuous, uh, in
same,
my 20s. So that's, that's
same.
when my kiddo
Like
was born, when I was 23. So yeah, I was very, yeah.
I was overseas in Iraq in the middle of a tour, getting railed in the sand dunes by Marines. Like a lot of people are like, "What?" No, it happened. It
Yeah.
happened. It was so bad. Our CO had to get condoms for our girls.
Oh, wow.
That's so bad. They're like, we can't let you get pregnant out here. That's crazy. We can't stop you, but man, like, so it was bad. But there's a lot of regret there. I feel like I lost my purity, and I've been working really hard to rebuild a sense of it.
um,
You know?
Well, yeah, I do know, but I'm going to stop you there because I don't believe that for a minute. Because
Oh wow.
I don't think you can ever. I don't think a person can ever lose their purity. I just think they can shut the door on it, but it never goes away. And I think they're just a lot of people are just afraid to open that door back up. And
I
I
get.
think I think culture and society as a whole also believes that it can be lost. And I don't believe that for a minute. I think it's a door, and it's there to be opened if you're willing to try. And I think a lot of people just aren't willing to try.
mm, I have like a little weird piece of like food in my the back of my tooth. That's how good
No,
my face
no
tracking is.
flossing on stream. Okay, that's illegal. That's
No, I'm not even. My hands are over here.
okay.
I'm just like
You're just poking at it.
with my tongue. Yeah, you can actually see it. I didn't realize how good it was because I updated my model yesterday. So yeah, I just I'm no stranger to being lewd or sexual, but I choose not to. And especially on stream. I'm a heavy believer of idol culture in VTubing industry, in the VTubing industry, and the old ways of our Japanese forefathers, like Kizuna Ai and like a
Yep,
bunch of other
all the
content
originals.
creators that
Yeah.
were like the original
Mm-hmm.
VTubers. That's why like my content resembles a lot of that. My Oshi is but I can't think because I'm nervous because of the the doggy girl, Japanese doggy girl, man. I
Oh,
like food actually. I
God,
like
what is
food.
her
It's
name?
Korone.
Yeah, Corone. Yes.
Corone. Yeah, that's my Oshi. I met her not too long ago actually.
Oh,
She's
really? Wow.
potentially a client. So
Oh, fantastic.
yeah. So yeah, she's more retired now. They're doing things on their own
Yeah.
pace now.
Yeah, I think a lot
And
of them are. Yeah.
yeah, I try to resemble their content, like nothing lewd, nothing weird. Sometimes a spicy joke here and there, but it's centered around the comedy, and centered around, like
Well, entertainment
the
at the end
fact
of
that
the
we're
day,
having a good
because
time. It's
we are
entertaining. Yeah,
entertainers.
it's
Yeah.
exactly. Like have I ever showed you my body pill? Here's my
Oh
husband
my
though, my
God.
ideal man, right here. So this is Geralt or
How'd
Rivia.
you get a picture of
This
me?
is. Oh, I love him so much. Look at his beautiful chaps too. Like so, see what I mean? It's just simple, like, harmless stuff. Like people are like,
Oh yeah.
"How dare you show me his tiny whities?" And I'm offended. It's like, whoa, bro. I mean, go watch somebody else.
Yep.
You know?
Well, I mean, that's just it, though. And I think a lot of creators don't understand that, too. It's like, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as somebody watching is just watching because they're getting entertained. You're an entertainer.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of them just take themselves so seriously. It's ridiculous.
Oh no, no, gosh, people take themselves. Dude, I'm gonna speed run to get canceled. I'm just gonna keep doing worse and worse and worse to see how far I can go. I was actually thinking about doing blackface not too long ago.
Oh, God.
Let's see how far that goes.
You know what? That might be a hit. That might be a hit tweet on Twitter. You never know. So,
You think so?
oh, yeah,
You
absolutely.
think so? Well, not
Yeah.
blackface, trans face actually. Do like
Trans
look
face.
at
Oh,
really ugly,
yeah, that
like
would be,
yeah.
that'd
Be
be pretty
like
great.
do the whole thing. Like I was thinking of having my character hang and have
Yeah.
the feet like dangle be like and do like but I think that would be like too extreme. I think that may be too extreme.
Well, one person's too
Too
extreme
extreme.
is another person's haha. So
I know, I know, I
yeah.
know. Probably.
Well, to
Probably.
be
But I
to
mean,
be
I had
fair,
chat throw me cheese, bricks. I
oh
get
yeah.
stoned to death every stream. It's hilarious.
To be fair, just so you know who you're talking to, I am a diagnosed, like clinically diagnosed psychopath. So if you
Oh
think
my goodness.
that that'll affect me or make
That's kind of
me,
hot.
no, don't say that. Don't say that. No, it's actually a big reason why I'm single. So
Oh
that doesn't
no.
work out as much.
Oh no.
But I use that. I mean, because I am a high functioning uh,
Okay.
psychopath.
So you
Basically,
do
I'm
have a
not.
moral compass.
I'm not. No, I don't. It's not so much a moral compass. It's more my ideal in seeing what other people's moral compass should be, and that's what kind of drives my mentality with it. Because I don't have one. At the end of the day, I have a way I see the world and a way I want to see the world, and pushing image one to image two is kind of my goal, and I want
Okay.
everybody to exist in a harmonizing way that I think everybody deserves, whether they believe it for
Okay.
themselves or not. And I appropriate my actions and my everyday life to garner that goal.
I see
So,
that.
so it's
Okay.
it's it's less of a emotional like need and more of just like a logical one. I take everything with logic. So, and that usually pisses people off because they'll be like, "Well, think of the, think of
Think of
this,
the
or it's
children.
sad, or
I
it's
know.
yeah, or oh, that's sad, or oh, that's that's not very nice," and
Yeah.
and that pisses me off more than anything because I can't help but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh my god.
the line of service and what I did really desensitized me a bit. So, like, for a little while, I was openly advocating for violence and murder, but coming to Christianity, it has actually reined that down a bit. Sometimes I do understand that feeling where you get so angry that you think the world would be better off with a lot of people in it. You know what I mean? Especially
It
people who
would.
touch children.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
have
Yeah.
this animosity towards people, pedophiles, anybody who seeks to corrupt children.
Yeah.
Because I was a victim of that as a child.
Yeah.
I saw that a lot. People who would lavish and crave the flesh of a 13-year-old girl just because they said, oh, look, she's more fresh. It's disgusting.
Well, and they're just it's the weakest form of a human, and in my
Yes,
opinion,
it's
because
power.
because they can't get it with their peers, they can't get it with anybody else, so they go after the weakest, basically the weakest, most vulnerable uh form of humanity, which is a child, and yeah, it's very sick and disgusting. And personally, yeah, I think we should just kill them. I mean, and I know everybody's like, oh, don't call for violence and blah blah blah, and it's like, I think violence a very I think violence is okay if it's metered and structured correctly.
Well, I personally think that pedophiles, I personally feel, this is actually more of a feeling than I think. Actually,
Yeah,
for
it's almost
real,
like
I
you're
really
a
feel this
female or
one.
something.
I personally feel that pedophiles should be publicly executed
Yeah,
and they should be allowed a grace period so they can repent, so they can face God. Because anybody who touches a child should not be allowed back in society ever under any means. Because they will corrupt, they will hurt, they will seek that thrill again. Like people who go that way, they never turn back. And it's a lifelong struggle. And if I find it, I feel so disgusted when people say, oh, I am minor attracted.
yeah.
Now, people who say that they're minor attracted, let me tell you the statistics.
It's just trying to
90, no,
normalize. Yeah.
100% of pedophiles that get 9 millimeter aspirin treatment don't reoffend.
Well, see, that's why I wouldn't even
And
give them
that's
a
a really hot
grace.
take. That's a really hot take. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it
That's a
really
really hot
isn't.
take.
Not anymore. I mean, maybe 10 years ago it was, but I mean, I think everybody's
You think
really
anybody would survive a headshot, bro? What?
yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
I
Go
don't, I
ahead.
don't think there's many that would try, but it's I think the language they used with that to try and like normalize it. I mean,
Oh hell no,
that was the final straw
never.
for I think a majority of people when that shit started happening. That's when they lost the final, last little inkling of support from people not in that community. And I feel like that was where it started really regressing into the anti-trans was when that term came out. At least for me, that's what I noticed. And all they had to do is literally just not touch kids. It's I,
That was the
it
last
pretty
straw.
simple, pretty simple. I
It
think
was.
for me at least. I mean, and I think I'm relatively normal, and I don't want to touch kids. Why is it so hard for these people not to do it? So obviously something's wrong with them, and we don't need that. We don't need that DNA and genes in our gene pool. In my opinion, of people that want to touch and harm children like that. I don't think it needs to. So I wouldn't even give them the grace period that you mentioned to repent. I think they can repent when they meet God
Everybody
Himself, and the
deserves to
sooner they
repent.
get no, I think I don't believe so. I think the repentance happens on God's terms, and we need to send them to God to
Quicker.
quicker to figure those terms out because that's
I know a
between
lot
them
of
and
people in
God.
the Christian community disagree with me, and I find it that
That's
okay, that's
because
fine. You can
I
disagree,
think I
but
think the I think the
no,
Christian community has become very watered down and pussified
it has.
over the last like
That's the
30
thing
years.
that pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah, because
People want to
Christians,
accept Christ on their terms. They don't
yeah.
accept Christ for who he
And
is.
well, and
Even in the
Christians
Bible
used to
says
be,
anybody who is willing to corrupt and mislead little ones should have a millstone hung around their neck and cast it into the sea.
yeah,
Jesus actually actively advocating for murdering pedophiles.
yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think
And people are like, dude, like, how could
they
you hide behind the
do,
scripture like that? Well, I bring a sword, not peace. I don't want peace. I want to change the world for the better. And people are like, well, we want to hold hands and sing kumbaya. It's like, that's not what Jesus was about.
no. And
Are you kidding
a
me?
lot of Christians have forgotten the roots. And the roots of Christianity is
We are warriors
we are
after.
warriors. Yes. We have
Exactly.
always been warriors. And that is what put unironically the fear of God into enemies of our
Put
faith,
the fear of God into people. I love
Yeah.
that saying.
and I think it's been a culmination of just I don't even want to say demons, but I mean that's really what it is. It's just
Dude, I feel
the
like they're very
culmination of
demonic. I
they are,
feel like
yeah.
they're very demonic. You can feel it
You
in
can
your
feel
heart
it,
and your
yeah.
soul.
You can
When
feel
a
it when
lot of these
you,
people, they
yeah,
came after me. They came after me with so much hatred at anything they could grab. Anything. Anything they could grab. They would just like, we want to destroy the child, you know? They
yeah,
came after my kids, bro.
yeah.
Yeah. And the day that I made that post, for me, when I said I refuse to stay silent, there's a little bit more lore to that, actually, as a matter of fact. It was the day that my son had called me and he said, Mom, I don't know what to do. It's like, what do you mean? Because my teacher keeps trying to tell me that I'm a girl.
Oh God,
And they were trying to indoctrinate my son into being trans.
yeah. Well,
And I raised a storm. I got a hold of an attorney.
yeah,
I got a hold of the teacher, the school system, because they're in a whole separate state. Now they're living with me.
uh,
It got so bad to the point where I literally had to like do all of these things to get my kids to come live back with me.
yeah. Well, and if like let's take it back too and think like if you actually were a demon and you were going to try and push this ideology on people, how would you do it? Well, being a school
I
teacher,
just do
that'd be
it.
one of the easiest ways to do it. And
Exactly.
this like affront into the education system, it's been going on since like the 60s, and it started really with a lot of like socialism and communism, and they kind of adopted into the trans ideology too, and that's why a lot of them are very parallel in a lot of
Isn't
ways.
that the
So
first like transgender clinic was like a Nazi one, if I
I
remember that correctly?
um so that's a really tough like take on history because the Nazis did a lot of experimentation with that type of stuff, but at the same
Yeah, they
time
did.
a lot of the books they burned, from the big famous book burning, was books about
Yeah,
transgenderism. So
exactly.
they were trying to actually get rid of that ideology way back then, in a way. And then
Oh
in
wow.
the same breath, the doctors were experimenting with it too. So it's a really strange part of history, that, and a lot of people
It
don't even know
is.
that, because everybody talks about, oh, they burn books because they wanted to get rid of information, but a lot of them don't even realize what the books were, and a lot of those books were early, like transgender, transgender
That's
novels and books.
scary.
It is,
Literally
yeah,
Pandora's box.
yeah,
Wow.
absolutely,
That's some scary stuff.
yeah,
And now we're facing like all this ugly stuff nowadays.
yeah.
Did
I
you see
mean,
the
and
video with the blue haired one? They were
you have to
screaming,
be
say
more
the right gender.
specific.
Say
So,
she. Like they were like actively in pain
oh, is that the
because
one
he
that got
swallowed them.
tased and was like in the hallway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
funny.
wild how they react.
Yeah, that's pretty normal for them, I
Yeah.
think. So, I mean,
That should not be acceptable in society.
no, it shouldn't. No,
Ever. No.
those are the
We
type of
need
people
asylums, bro.
yeah, and they got rid of all the asylums. If you didn't know, back in the '90s, we
Ah,
don't have
we need
any.
to bring lobotomy back, bro.
We haven't had
Holy crap.
asylums. We haven't had like official asylums for about 27 years now. I think it was 1998 they closed them all. And so for that amount of
Wow.
time, that's the amount of time we've had all of these crazy people that should be in a fucking box living among us. So,
I love how that rolled out of your tongue, man.
what,
Are
the
you
Among
flirting
Us?
with me? No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
No,
All
I would
right.
never flirt.
No, I'm joking. So I wanna I wanna ask you a question.
Sure.
How would you feel if one of these people approached your child? Because I know you told me you have a kid.
Yeah.
If one of these people approached your kid,
Be more specific, because I've actually had a few instances of this in real life with my kid.
tell me more.
So,
I want to hear. I want to hear this.
me and my daughter are pretty close. We talk a lot. I just treat her like a human, because
Mm,
I've raised her
as you
since
should.
I've raised her from birth. I was there for every visit to the, not the gynecologist, what do you call it? The OB-GYN. I was there for every OB-GYN visit. I held the weird spooky magnetic thing that, they push inside to, like, check everything with the jelly and shit. I cut the
Mm,
umbilical cord. I was there for everything. I did everything. And when she was about, it was about 2 months before her second birthday, was when me and her mother split up, and I split up with
okay.
her, because she was basically stealing money from us and giving it to her father, who was addicted to gambling. And
Ah, that's the worst.
yeah, and we were just trying to get on our feet. We had like a 0 bedroom apartment. It was a studio, and stuff like that. And we both had good jobs, but yeah, that was happening, and that happened. So anyway, she decided to freak out. She robbed the whole apartment dry while I was at work. Left her cat. Didn't take her own cat, who I had to take
Left the
care of.
cat? How dare she?
Well,
Bro!
not only did she
I'm
leave the cat.
offended.
Well, you're about to be more offended, because not only did she leave the cat in there, it was during the summer when it was 90 degrees, and she took the air conditioner out of the window. So
She
I
left
when
the
I
cat in the heat.
yeah, it was like 90 degrees in the apartment with the cat, no food, no water for the cat, and I got home from work and just discovered this. I wasn't warned or told, nothing. And
How dare she?
yeah, and so what I did is I got my daughter,
The poor cat.
and I hid it basically at my mother's house at the time, and she came
Okay.
to come try and get her daughter, because she thought she had full rights against me. Started kicking the door, smelled like weed, everything, showed up high, and had the cops involved, and that was basically the start of it. Flash forward to today. I get her for a week, and then she goes over to her mother for a week. Her mother now has 4 more kids she's had with 2 different crackheads, but she's
Oh,
she's at least we're at least amicable, but amicable and that's a hard word. Amicable enough
amicable.
to, yeah, that's the one.
Amicable.
That's the word. To have a mutual, like, understanding that we're parents, but that doesn't mean we have to hate each other for it. We can be mutual in this, and
Mm?
so everything's works out. Like, it's much better now, but that was kind of the start of it. So because of that, because being with my sorry, that was a huge tangent. Being with my daughter for so
No, you're
long,
fine.
we've we're very close, and we talk a lot. We talk every day. We play video games together. I built her own computer for it, because I build computers on the side.
That's awesome.
And yeah, and so we do that, and like I said, we're going golfing and stuff, and doing all sorts of stuff, going to parks. And so I told her, like, hey, like, if there's ever anything you want to know, ask me first before. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a teacher, it doesn't matter if it's another adult, someone you really trust. Just ask me first and I'll let you know the truth. That way you never have to be worried. You never have to, try and choose between one thing or the other. I can just tell you what it's like and, give you best options. I'm never going to force you to do anything you don't want to do, you know, or force you not to do something.
Same approach I have with my kids.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
absolutely
It's the
right.
best way to do it. Is just treat them like humans, and I feel like a lot of parents don't do that.
Within reason, of course.
Right. So the first
Yeah.
story is we're sitting in my truck, we're driving home, and there was a dude, big old beard, bald spot, in a dress with high heels walking down the sidewalk. And she looked over and she's
Oh, what?
yeah. And she looks over and she's like, Dad, is that a guy? And I looked, I'm like, yeah, that's what's known as a cross dresser. It's sometimes guys and sometimes girls, like dressing in the other's clothing. And, it's very self-satisfying and sometimes sexual for them. And so she kind of like looked over and then like kind of, did the little thinking thing kids do, when they're, I think she was like 10 at the time or something. And then she said, well, that's really weird. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but that's the type of people that are out there. So, they that's how they want to express their sexual desires and stuff. Cause I taught her about sex from a very young age, just so she, ever runs into stuff like that or other kids talking about it in school.
Makes
I
sense.
want her
Yeah,
to
it
at
makes
least
a lot
have
of
an,
sense.
an, an inkling or an understanding of what's real before she gets presented with, like an 11-year-old or a 12-year-old's iteration of what sex is, because they're not going to understand near as much as, adults like we are. So I gave her a very,
Hmm.
a very mature understanding of it, at least. And so that happened. The only time we ever had like an issue with it where somebody like approached was we went to the pool. And for the first time ever, instead of going into the family room to get changed, because we just got changed together, she got at the age where, oh, don't look at me. Oh, I'm a girl, and, you know how it is. They want the privacy. And I understand. And it was at the age where it got weird for me too. So I let her for the first time go into the women's locker room, go change. And right after I sent her in, like 3 minutes after I sent her in there, a trans person walked past me to walk in there and didn't even, and they
Bro,
didn't,
chills.
yeah.
Oh
And,
no.
and, and the trans person didn't know that she went in there. Like they just came around the corner. So it was unknown to them. But the second I saw that, I was like, oh fuck, what do I do? Am I going to run into a women's locker room at a pool? you know, like what's going to happen here? And I was so scared to death that I went through the family area to where the pool is. I went to the nearest lifeguard and I said, hey, my daughter's in there. She's been in there for a long time. She's really young. I don't usually let her go in there alone. Can you please go? It was some, I don't know, 20-year-old like blonde girl. She, nice or whatever. And I said, hey, could you go check on my daughter? Her name's this. And she went in and she went in there, knocked on the doors because they had like little, kind of like bathroom stalls, but without the toilet in it to change.
Okay.
And is the best way to describe it. And she found her, and my daughter is a talker. Like she just yaps at everybody she could talk to you for
Okay.
hours nonstop. She's like that with everybody.
Mine is the same way.
Yeah,
I
and
think
so
it,
yeah, so and sometimes it's just like okay, shut up. And so she finds her, they start talking, and she
okay.
and the lifeguard lady I guess was going to like leave and come back and say anything, but my kid literally just yapped to her the entire time and then ended up coming with her out to me and was still yapping to her. But that at least I'm so glad, that happened because then I knew an adult was there, with her at least. But ever since then, never again does she go in there. We go into the family room and I let her go into the family room by herself and I'll sit out on the bench and wait and then I'll go get changed and then come out and we're good to go. So I just ever since
Okay.
and that was literally the first time I let her do that and that happened. And for all I know, the trans person like they were probably perfectly okay. Who knows? But I didn't even want to risk it.
I wouldn't
And
trust.
no, there's no there. That's the problem with
No.
bad stuff that can happen is you give them even the benefit of the doubt
An
one time.
inch.
That's all it takes. That's all it
Yeah,
takes is
that's all
that
it
one
takes.
time to ruin someone's life or multiple people's lives, and so never again.
Yeah.
So
You're
if
absolutely
if
right.
that answers your question, I know that that went on for a while, but
No, no, it's fine. That's perfect. And I feel like you went through a lot.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
it was
lot
quite a
of
bit.
thoughts.
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be so scared. I don't know what I would do. I think I'd be
Yeah,
very hostile,
yeah, and
and somebody would get hurt for sure.
well, and that's why I brought up the psychopath thing is because their biggest, I guess, like their biggest trap card against it is trying to label you, because labels are like their biggest thing.
Oh, labels
So
are their power, absolutely.
yeah,
If you
that's
discard all labels, they don't have any power over
well,
you.
exactly. And the second the second the label stuff started coming out, because I don't even care about pronouns. Like it's you're a dude or you're a
Yeah.
girl, or sometimes I'll call you a dude if you're a girl. Just how I talk. And so I don't really give a shit about those. So I normally don't even pick them whenever it's like a thing that you can do. I don't even engage in the system. And whenever I get called a transphobe or a racist or this, I just agree with them. So I just be like, yeah,
Oh, I
I
love
am.
being called a racist. That's funny.
Yeah, I just tell them I am,
Like
and
I'm
it's like,
caught between two races, bro. Like,
yeah,
what are you trying to say?
I just tell them I am, and they're like, "Oh, you probably hate black people." It's like, yeah, my main mod is black actually, and we call each other slurs all the time. So yeah, I'm totally racist, and he knows I'm racist, and he's racist too. And then
That's
it's
funny.
usually a flashbang for him when that happens. But yeah,
So this is my first interview ever.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think he did pretty well.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Not bad.
I don't know.
I'd say like a
I
seven
feel
out of
like I
ten
might
at
have
least.
messed up somewhere.
Nah, you did great. No, that it doesn't matter where you've messed up because when I edit it, I'll make it look all pretty and make us both sound amazing and smart. So
Um, that's brutal. Oh no, I'm not smart at all. No, no, I'm not smart at all, bro. That's messed up.
well, it's
Ah,
okay. It's okay not to be smart, but it is very important to be aware, and you have that. That's more important.
oh, being aware is
Yeah,
important. Yeah, I
absolutely.
agree.
Yeah, having a pulse. Yeah,
Having a pulse, definitely.
yeah. Okay. Well, I would like to end it on one last question. What is your favorite Bible verse?
Whom shall I send for us? And the Isaiah said, "Here I am, send me, O Lord." Because I received an awakening, like kind of like Isaiah did, in a way, I guess. Like the Lord had nobody else to send, and I just decided to jump in.
Well, it's a whole paragraph, but I'm going to read it because the whole paragraph hits really hard. So it is, "Don't store up treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and rust destroys them, and where thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven, where moths and rust cannot destroy, and thieves do not break in and steal. Because wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be." And that one has stuck
I
with
like
me
that.
forever. Basically, it here on earth, everything is temporary, no matter how much we treasure it. But your most treasured thing should always be your love for your God. And
And your love for others too.
yeah,
Peace be with you, brother in Christ. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you so much for coming on. Make sure you stay
Thank you
around
so
for a
much
little
for the
bit after.
privilege.
So, and we'll do like a little post show kind of a thing too. But thank you everybody for coming by, and I will have this on YouTube. I'll edit it up and stuff. I will tag
Wait, we were
this.
live? Oh no! Oh
Yeah,
my god.
surprise.